Now, let's move from the big innovation accelerator to a specific company that is first and foremost known for its 50 years of expertise and experience within oil and gas exploration and production. It started out as Statoil, a Norwegian state-owned petroleum company. Today, Equinor markets itself as a broad energy company operating all around the world. And they do invest as well in new value chains and new solutions. Equinor Ventures performs Equinor's corporate venture capital activities and has done so since 2016. Their Vice President, Garteh Burns, joins us today from London to give us an insight in how they think and plan when considering where to put their money. Now, if you have questions for Gareth after his presentation, please use Slido, and the URL is still slido.com, and the code is relatively logical today, ET Innovation. It is time to leave the digital floor to Garteh Burns. Take it away.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be able to join you this morning, even though I'm forced to do so from my home here in London in the UK. I have the honour of leading Equinor's corporate venture capital activities, which is an integral part of our engagement in the energy transition. Equinor's corporate strategy is captured in the words always safe, high value and low carbon. And this forms the foundation on which we invest in and support innovative companies as we look to shape the future of energy. As part of our investment toolbox, we deploy funds through direct equity investments into privately held companies, through early phase project funding, and through engagements with financial funds, accelerators, and incubators. In particular, you may be aware of our cooperation with Techstars through the Energy Accelerator that we host in our Oslo office. The energy transition is progressing at great speed, in part because the climate challenge we face requires rapid changes to the global energy mix. Corporate venture capital activity is a very effective tool to explore new value chains, and collaboration within the startup ecosystems will accelerate the energy transition further. Participating in those ecosystems enables us to get insight into the novel technology and business models that will, I believe, over time become increasingly important. As a corporate VC outfit, for us to really deliver significant value creation for Equinor, it's important for us to implement the technologies into our activities multiple times. Equinor Ventures was established in June of this year when we brought together the technology ventures and energy ventures activities within the company. As a corporate VC, we are looking to invest in radical and potentially disruptive innovation across 3 different investment pillars. And we've labelled these 3 investment pillars: enhance, expand, and explore. Under the enhance investment pillar, we're looking to invest in opportunities that will improve our existing operations in one way or another. This enhancement can be delivered in a variety of ways: by delivering a better safety performance, by increasing the value of our business through revenue additions or cost reductions, or by improving the carbon footprint of our activities. In order to deliver this enhancement, we'll look for multiple implementation opportunities across the full range of our activities, whether that be oil and gas, renewables, development activity, and operations. Within the oil and gas category, we'll be particularly interested in investment opportunities that can improve the carbon efficiency of our current oil and gas activities. The second expand investment pillar covers investments that give Equinor the opportunity to test future growth options. In this category, there can be implementation opportunities within our business activities, as well as options to grow our existing businesses. In addition, there can be occasions when we're able to learn about new segments that could be valuable add-ons to our existing renewable and low carbon solutions business. In the third Explore investment pillar, we are looking to make investments in high impact business and technology solutions that will give us strategic insight into the future development of the energy industry. These investments will tend to be in areas that Equinor has yet to take a material position, and are also likely to be in companies that have the potential to be particularly disruptive to current energy activities. Historically, Equinor has made a large number of investments in companies that are focused on the upstream oil and gas industry, and in recent years we've become more active across the energy transition space. In the coming years, our expectation is that a much greater proportion of our new capital investments will be targeted towards the energy transition and are likely to be within the Expand and Explore investment pillars that I mentioned earlier. To give you a little colour on our investments, I'll now move on to talk about a few companies from our current portfolio that are relevant to the energy transition. A number of years ago, Equinor saw the potential to improve the carbon footprint of our activities within the offshore support vessels that are an essential component to the production of oil and gas. In order to help accelerate the electrification of this segment, we invested in a company called Corvus that is now one of the leading suppliers of safe, innovative and reliable energy storage solutions across the maritime industry. As a result of our investment, it gave the ventures team the insight necessary to work with the relevant Equinor stakeholders to develop a framework that would encourage the use of hybrid solutions to power the supply vessels we would use in our oil and gas activities. In competitive processes, Corvus was successful in winning the tenders that enabled it to grow its business within the oil and gas offshore support vessel segment. As a result of this initial success, Corvus has now expanded its activities further, whereas it is able to supply solutions to a broad range of business segments relevant to the maritime industry, including the cruise and ferry segments, fishing and aquaculture, to name just a few. Another investment that's particularly relevant to the energy transition is ChargePoint, that was also in the news last week. ChargePoint is one of the leading electric vehicle infrastructure companies developing smart charging solutions that enhance the electric vehicle user experience, whether that be a private consumer driving a personal vehicle, a fleet manager managing a large number of delivery vans or trucks like UPS or DHL, or a fleet of public service buses. In the case of ChargePoint, the investment has given us direct insight into the continuing ramp up of electric vehicles across multiple electric vehicle segments and geographies, and how the entire segment has the potential to disrupt the demand for one of our core hydrocarbon products. It's also given us valuable strategic insight into how we should respond to these market developments. In addition, the public market news from last week is a great demonstration of how corporate venture capital can also deliver an excellent financial return on our investments. I look forward to participating in the panel discussion and taking questions from the audience on Equinor's venture capital and broader corporate activities, as well as how we will continue to participate in the venture capital and innovation investment space. Thank you, and back to Oslo.
Thank you very much, Gareth. Thank you. There you are again. Good to see you. Thanks a lot for giving us this little insight. And I was just wondering when listening to you, in Equinor, you have like 21,000 employees. Why do you have the need to invest externally in, the brain capacity out there?
Very good question. One of my strong beliefs in Equinor as well is the importance of collaborating with people across the whole industry to solve some of the challenges that we as a society face in providing energy for society's benefit. And as such, if you think about 21,000 employees, that's a very small proportion of the world's population. And there are many great ideas out there that we want to try and tap into. And I think if you look at a number of different sort of academic studies that have been done, there are a lot more ideas come from outside than from inside a company.
That is true. And what about the budgets, the numbers? Because I don't recall you mentioning any amounts of money that you are putting into or tapping into these different innovations. Could you give us a ballpoint figure?
Yeah, you must have been listening carefully. As I mentioned, and I think as you mentioned in the introduction, the Energy Ventures Group has been running for about 5 years, and with the creation of Equinor Ventures, we are just sort of reevaluating our future plans. Our expectation is that we will look to increase what we deploy. If you look at sort of 2019, we deployed probably $70 to $80 million, and our expectation is that that will increase in the years to come. 2020 has been a challenging year for all of us. And so again, we've been working with our portfolio companies. We've continued to invest through them, and our expectation is that our investment level for 2020 will be somewhat similar to previous years, but also helped by some of the news with the likes of ChargePoint last week that actually hopefully will enable us to return some capital to Equinor.
I was looking at your portfolio, as it were, of May 2020, because I think that is the most recent one that you've published on your website. And when I was looking at the number of companies that you do invest in, the majority still lie within oil and gas. I could count 23 logos under oil and gas versus 17 in total when it comes to low carbon and power. And you did mention in your presentation that you are probably in the future going to see, if I understood you correctly, leaning more towards the low carbon and power, or at least exploring new possibilities. When does the day come when Equinor Ventures no longer invests in activities linked to upstream oil and gas, you think?
That's picking up on a comment in Slido from one of our audience. And I think as an energy company, we are an active participant in the energy transition, and we are looking to deploy the majority of our venture capital expenditure towards that energy transition. However, the world will continue to require oil and gas for a number of years to come. And as such, we are looking to, as I mentioned in my introductory comments, we are looking to reduce the carbon footprint of that oil and gas activity, and also reduce the cost of that oil and gas activity. And so as such, we will continue to make sort of isolated investments where it makes sense for us from a cost perspective, or where it can make a contribution to improving the carbon footprint of our oil and gas activities. As to when that time point will come, when there's nothing in the portfolio, sort of if I knew that, I wouldn't be here.
Okay, great, thanks. So with that answer, you've actually replied to several of the comments in Slido as you've been following. I can tell, and that's good. And we can come back to that as well for the panel discussion, because I can see that precisely these things are interesting for the audience. But there's also a question about what types of technologies that are particularly interesting for Equinor at the moment. Could you say something in short about that, please?
Yeah, so obviously we are scanning the market continuously. You started the webinar with behind every successful idea, there's 1,000 failures, and behind every single investment, we look at over 100 potential investments. Then we then wait to see which of those are successful. So in terms of current technologies that we're interested in, sort of anything to do with the energy transition, so to do with hydrogen, to do with carbon capture is quite interesting for us. You may have seen or heard of one of our investments that we made earlier on this year, which was in Commonwealth Fusion Systems. Again, that is something quite radical, has the potential to disrupt oil and gas significantly. Then other areas we are interested in mobility, and then also sort of anything that has a digital or sort of AI or machine learning component that could either improve what we do or change what Equinor does is of interest to us.
Good. So we'll hear more from you later on, Gareth, because of course you're going to participate in the panel discussion as well. So I'll just say thank you so far. Looking forward to hearing from you again.